Hello, welcome to episode 39 of Music is None of Our Business. And this week's topic is anything to do with time. Passing of anything really, I suppose. Yeah, I was going to do it.
You don't need to elaborate.
No,
I think most people will understand
anything time related. Episode 39. It's been a year as well. I think I saw somewhere.
I think.
Yeah, no, some of it was been a year. Maybe it was a year since I started doing Insta or something. I had something pop up the other day and say, "You've been doing this for a year now." I was like, "Fucking hell!"
I thought you started Insta after you started this. So
I did, yeah. So it was one or the other. I can't remember.
It was our first episode. Was the 20th of June.
Bloody hell!
So yeah, just over a year.
Bloody hell! Yes. So, do you want to go first, or shall I? Or
you can go first.
I'll go first. Okay, right. Okay. So my first song I've picked for this week is "End of a Century" by Blur.
Okay.
And because "End of a Century" is a great song. It's one of my favourite songs of theirs. It's got a real 60s vibe to it. As well, lots of really nice kind of 60s harmonies, and it's from Parklife, and I've always had a bit of a love-hate relationship with Blur. I always find that they'll do something I really like, and then the next track will be something I really fucking hate, and I can't, they're one of those bands I always wanted to like them more than I actually do. And I do like them, but I found Parklife, all that fake Cockney bollocks, just fucking got on my nerves. It really did. And there were great songs in there, but I just couldn't get on with the white governor, all that kind of thing. It was all a bit. It just came across as a bit fake at times. And just annoyed me. And then they did Country House. Oh, I loathe that song. Biggest load of shit ever. It was so awful. It was such a, just. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, I'm aware it was a pastiche of something, of Englishness or something. But it was just so fucking awful. I just couldn't deal with it. And then they do something like the Universal, and you go, oh man, that is just amazing.
That's the only song of theirs that I've ever heard that I liked.
Really, I like a lot of the stuff. I mean, like a lot of the latest Beetlebum. Never really liked when it came out, but that grew on me. And I got, and they had this kind of real phase where they were everything was a bit discordant, and you could see Graham Coxon was kind of taking control of the guitar, and there was proper chunky guitars in there, and I quite like that. Then they'd probably throw in something shit that I hated, but they did an album called The Story of Darren. Was it The Story of Darren? The Ballad of Darren. But it was that was a few years ago. That was kind of a bit of a comeback record, and it was brilliant. It was a really, really good album, and it was kind of about just about getting old, or not even getting old, but just being older. And it was really good. And I've always enjoyed watching the documentaries about them because they do seem like relatively nice blokes. They all get on.
Sure, okay. Yeah.
And it's nice. It's good to see. I think the last one came out around about the same time as the Darren LP, and it was great. It was just about four blokes who are great mates getting older, and I really related to it. And then that's what it was about. It was about making that LP, I think. And they just seemed to be really nice. Even Alex, because he always came across a bit of a twat as well. And he got a farm and made cheese, and he was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then you think, well, and then he's mates with Jeremy Clarkson. You're like, oh, you can fuck off, can't you? And
You're
So,
down on a lot of people today, aren't you?
I am, yeah, I am. I'm a bit like that. But yeah. So End of a Century is just one of their best tracks. I think it just got that. It had a real kind of Kinksy vibe to it, and I know a lot of Park Life was influenced by the Kinks and the British bands. Typically British bands, Small Faces, Kinks. That kind of thing. I mean, and that was all a bit. I mean, the Small Faces. Ogden's Nutflake or whatever that album was called. I mean, that was your typical. That was very, Albion orientated, wasn't it? That was a bit kind of that cheerful, chirpy Cockney vibe to it as well. I just think I just always thought Blur tried to emulate that, but ended up just going a bit over the top. I mean, if they'd fucking come along, if they'd gone along to the recording session, a fucking awesome cart, with bloody Pearly Queen and King suits on.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing, just trying a bit too hard. But when they did nail it, they really, really nailed it, and they did make some absolutely brilliant, some brilliant records. And the singles were relatively good as well. Now there's lots of really, really good things about Blur. Lots of really good things about Blur. But the bad things are really fucking bad. I think that's the that's Blur for you. That's my take on Blur anyway.
Okay,
yeah,
really good and really bad, depending on what you're listening to.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, well,
probably more good than bad, but enough bad to just annoy you a bit.
Right. Okay. I try to work that out. I haven't really listened to them very much. Never really inclined to do so, but I do really like the Universal. That was a great piece of music.
I think the later ones, the later LPs, I think you'd really like them because they were kind of. I mean, they weren't overly experimental, but for a band of Blur's stature, there was enough going on there to keep you interested. I mean, Think Tank was a really good example of that. I mean, that was when Graham Coxon really went to town on that one, I think, and that was a proper noisy, good, interesting album. It was the Ballad of Darren, I was thinking, not the story. And 13 as well was really good. And before that, there's you pick and choose your tracks.
Mm-hmm.
You could make a really good. I think Blur made compilations or playlists because you can cut out the things that really get on your tits and just put all the good stuff in. And there's enough good stuff to keep you going.
Yeah.
It's just when they do go bad, it's really, really bad. There's a really good there was a really good LP released a few years ago for Record Store Day. It was kind of a it was a load of I think it was called Busting and Droning, and it was lots of remixes.
Okay.
And a few live tracks, but the remixes were really, really good. I mean, Thurston Moore did one, Moby did one. There was a William Orbit mix, and it's that's well worth a listen as well. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, Blur.
Okay.
Love them or loathe them.
Neither, really. Indifferent.
No, fair enough.
Okay, my first one sounds like what would happen if you got some deranged people with homemade instruments, several litres of cider, and a spreadsheet to sing. And it is, it's 32 Weeks by the Mekons. Or Mekons as they're now known, but they were known as the Mekons at the time. And what a band! Formed in 1976 in Leeds at the height of punk, and they came out in that punk wave. A rifle through their catalogue, though, and you'll find a whole raft of different styles, from folk to country or alt country, cowpunk, and a sensibility a bit like Chumbawamba, and a bit of a sound like Chumbawamba, a bit indie, folky, crusty punksters. And Sally Timms, who sings, has a very clear, unprocessed English voice, very similar to Alice Nutter and Jude Abbott of Chumbawamba, and also a very left-wing stance. The crowd that they emerged from was the same one that birthed Gang of Four. And in fact, their first album was recorded using Gang of Four instruments. Strangely, their label at the time, Virgin, printed their album covers with pictures of Gang of Four on it instead of Mekons, which was probably quite disappointing.
Which album was that?
That was the first album, which was it just called the Mekons? No, Quality of Mercy is not.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Strunen, yeah.
Strunen, yes, right. Yeah, I remember that. I always remember the title.
Yeah, a bit weird.
No, it was because it's the Quality of Mercy isn't strained, but they did, and they did purposely change it. I can't remember why, but I know they did.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to like. I had. Where Were You? That was
the first single.
Their first single.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keith's Punk Box. I got that from.
Okay.
Just I heard it on John Peel,
okay.
And I thought, oh, that's weird. And
it's a great song.
It was in, and then found it a few weeks later in Keith's Punk Box. So yeah, got it. Bought that.
Okay, good.
Great song.
Well, 32 Weeks was on their second single, Never Been in a Riot. And both tracks are brilliant, very ragged. And 32 Weeks even starts with a recorded false start. So they get going and then they stop and they say, no, start again. Let's start again. A bit like Dog Bite by Dead Kennedys.
Dog Bite on my leg. Stop Bite.
Where they start off going too fast, too slow. They started off going too slow, and Jello stops it and says, no, that's too slow. And then, but 32 Weeks was too fast. But it doesn't sound like it's even written. It just sounds like they lurched into a garage with some homemade instruments and just went at it. But it's brilliant. It's bonkers. And it is, as I say, like a spreadsheet. It takes 32 weeks of your life to get a car, 3 days, 4 hours, get a job, get a car. It takes 1 week of your life to get a mattress. 3 days, 4 hours, get a job, get a car, get a bed. It takes 2 hours of your life to buy whiskey. 45 minutes, get a job, get a car, get a bed, get drunk. And then the penultimate verse, it takes 6 minutes of your life to buy a loaf and then something unintelligible. And then the final verse is the weekly £50,000 premium savings bond prized, announced on Saturday, was won by number 5, 887 55 478. The winner lives in Hull. Great. Biscuit tins for drums, 2 chords on a jumble sale guitar, vocals barked through a mic that's been dropped far too many times and probably cost £2 in the first place. And it sounds like all the amps are 5-watt practice amps that were dragged out of a skip. Reminds me very much of Cataleptic Fate in many respects.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to suggest that.
I'm
sure we weren't that professional.
No, they did very, very well with what they got. But they've been putting material out now. They're still together 50 years and 30 albums later.
Yes,
and the way they've morphed and changed is quite amazing. So very, very good band, very, very good song. First time I heard it, it's on Fast Product compilation album, which I got in 1980. It's got both Never Been in a Riot, Where Were You, as well as 32 Weeks on it. But it's got Gang of Four's Love Like Anthrax, The Scars, Adultery, Human League's Being Boiled and Circus of Death. It is a fucking brilliant album.
Yeah, that Scars LP's cracking.
That's brilliant. Author.
Yes.
At least Adultery is another cracking song, brilliant song. But there you go. Yes, probably by sheer effort, heart, and good fortune did they get out of the depths of that ragged sound that they had and just carry on. But fantastic band and fantastic song.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I loved that single. I sold it fucking years ago.
Of course you did.
Yes, I've sold everything just to buy more.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Right, okay. My number 2. Now, when I was doing my list this afternoon, I was thinking, when I was editing it this afternoon, I was thinking what we need is a fucking spreadsheet because I'm bloody sure I've had these before. I'm kind of, we get into what episode, well, this is episode 39, so almost 40 episodes now. I'm fucked if I can remember who I've picked.
I have got a spreadsheet of all of mine, but I haven't done one for you. Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's like that, is it? Fucking selfish. Honestly. Yeah, I'm going to have to go through, I think. Because at my age, I can barely remember my own fucking name, let alone what songs we've had in her. in previous episodes. I do occasionally whip through the playlists.
Oh, right. Yeah, that would be a way to tell to some degree.
Yeah, that no one probably ever listens to. So
can't you see how many people listen to it?
No, you can't. You can see how many people save it, but I can't actually see how many people listen to it and that, you know. So in fact, I'll be honest, I was late putting up the latest episode. I was a day late, and I put it up yesterday, and I just realised I forgot to add the spreadsheets to the to Facebook, which is what I normally do.
Spreadsheets.
Sorry, spreadsheets. Oh, God, spreadsheets on my fucking mind now.
The playlist.
The playlist. Yeah, yes. I need to do that at some point. Although I would imagine that everyone will know they're there, and so they can find them anyway. So
who knows?
Yeah, just me trying to do more than one thing at once. But anyway, so my number 2 is Afternoon Suburban Loop by Birds in the Brickwork, which is, and I'm sure I've spoken about Ben Holton before. Ben Holton, who runs Wayside and Woodland Records, and records under various nom de plume. Nom de plume, eh?
That's because you've been in Brussels.
Yeah, possibly that could be something to do with that. And Birds in the Brickwork is probably, I think it's his latest one. It's been going for a few years now. I think I'm pretty sure he did the first one when he was recovering from a back injury. And the point of the Birds in the Brickwork, it is kind of it is time and nostalgia. I mean, most of the Wayside and Woodland output is very much trying for that sound that just evokes memories. Even though the music, you weren't listening at the time, it will it just puts pictures in your head. I mean, he was first musical adventures were with band called, well, not band, there's 2 of them, Epic 45.
Oh, right.
And that was all. Are you? I assume you're aware of Epic 45.
No, Epic 45.
Yeah. So that was Ben's first forays into recording music, I think. And that went on for quite some time, and I think that was when Wayside and Woodland started. I think they recorded for a few other labels, and then Wayside and Woodland became a way to put music out, and then I think Ben kind of took over as a full-time thing. And the Birds in the Brickwork, again, they kind of come with everything he releases physically. It's all on CD, but comes with postcards. And I mean, there are. I think he's done 3 calendars now. So you get the calendar with kind of pictures he's taken, of various locations, and the music, the CD that comes with it, kind of is there to complement the pictures in the calendar, and the same with the ones with postcards. The pictures there, kind of what he's writing about. So these have been about. I mean, a lot of them are called 12 months, and he just has a different piece of music for each month of the previous year. He's done one a year in 45 minutes and 22 seconds, which is 2 pieces that add up to 45 to illustrate a year. And then he's recently started doing releases called Suburb Study or Study. This like study CDs: Suburb Study, Business Park Study, Coastal Study. So he's just going to picking various locations, writing music about them. He's just so brilliant. He's just such a cool guy. Afternoon Suburban Loop is just a chilled, it's part of a particular CD, but just a chilled piece of music from it. They're just gorgeous. You just put them on, you can just drift away. And I met him last year. I went down to London, where Luke, who released all the Stone Circle sampler music, he put on a show, and Ben was playing there, it was absolutely brilliant, really, really good. And I met him, and first time when they introduced him, I got his fucking name wrong. I can't remember what I'd been doing. I saw him, and I'd been looking at something on my phone, and the name Matt had got in my head, and I walked over and said, "Hello, Matt," and I was like, "Oh, fucking hell, I've got your name wrong." I've since apologised for that. Yeah, but the whole, everybody who listens knows how much we love a bit of nostalgia, and especially music that kind of evokes those feelings and memories. And these just do it perfectly. The whole series of Birds in the Brickwork CDs are just absolutely amazing, just so chilled. And I've just got to play them all the time, all of them. I just kind of go through as many as I can, and just sit there and think, oh, this is fucking great. And always remind me of there was a guy called, I think his name was Anthony Harding, and he released a load of music in the late 90s as July Skies, and that was all, and that was a very similar type of thing. And he'd have titles of the actual places where he was writing about, and even years at times as well. Lots of things about like World War II airstrips and just things like that. They were fucking brilliant, all done the same. I mean, Ben's music is kind of mainly guitar and synths and samples and whatnot. The July Skies ones were kind of all like shimmering guitars, lots and lots of reverb and tremolo and that. Anything like that, I bloody love. Everything that he puts out on Wayside of Woodland is just superb. But it's also he does a Patreon, and he puts videos out and just says what he's been up to and talks about the label. And just the way it's really sad, because he struggles financially to keep it going. I think there was a time, he said, when they had some income from Spotify, because they'd been put onto a playlist somewhere, some right. Spotify playlist, and one of their songs had been put on, and they actually made a bit of money. But it's like it's really sad that a label that's so prolific and just releases such great fucking music just struggles. It's like, I just think, fuck me, if I won the lottery, I'd be straight on there fucking writing Ben a check for like 50 grand and go, keep your fucking label going, release loads more stuff, But it's just awful when you look at music in general and you see some of the fucking dross that is released.
Well, it's all in the ear of the beholder, isn't it? I suppose it
is. Yeah. Well, I was about to say. I mean, my ethos for the last few years has been, I don't criticize anything, because everybody has everyone's got their own particular taste, and one man's. I was going to announce them, but I couldn't think of anything.
One man's duck is another man's swan, or something.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So I mean, everyone has their own taste, but I just think it's really sad that something so deserving and so cool is is just struggles financially like that. I mean, I did a reel story, or whatever the fucking Instagram terminology still baffles me. And I did Wayside of Woodland thing just so that, because I love Wayside of Woodland records, but also just I thought, I've got all these people who look at the video, maybe I can get them to go to his bloody site and spend some money. I think he said there was a bit of a, it was a bit of a help, but it was nothing like that. I'd have liked everybody who watches a video to go and buy something from there, ideally.
Who was that you were trying to get to something like 1 million hits or something on Instagram?
Oh, that was Julia Sophie,
That's
Telephone,
it, yes.
the Telephone
How far did
single.
you get with
Yeah.
that?
You know, it got a lot. I mean, that actual reel on Instagram got something like over 600,000 views. And she said, she said it, her, everything did go up quite considerably after that, which was really cool, actually. Funnily enough, I did one yesterday about Moon Wiring Club.
Oh yeah.
And that's had like 50,000 fucking views.
Right.
It's like, how the fuck did that happen? I don't know. Because I'd been averaging between, anywhere between 10 and 20, 25,000 views. And all of a sudden this one's just gone bonkers. So I don't know whether I've just made him any money or not, to be honest. It's hard to know. But yeah, it was, yeah. So I did my bit. I did my bit to try and get Wayside of Woodland some traffic, and to show my love of their music. So yeah, that was my number 2, Afternoon Suburban Loop by Birds in the Brick Club.
Okay. My number 2 is a band we have touched on only peripherally, where you mentioned them when we talked about MDC, I know, at one point. But I don't think, well, I'm quite certain they haven't had a slot of their very own. But this is Bad Brains, and it is Coptic Times from their classic 1983 album, their second album, Rock for Light. And it's an incredible album. It's got some fantastic, really high energy punk songs on there, hardcore punk songs, but it's also got some perfectly good reggae as well, because that's what Bad Brains were all about. The production isn't all that good, I don't think. It's quite quiet and muddy, and weirdly it was produced by Richard Okasek of the Cars. You think he would know better. But or whether he did it on purpose, who knows.
He should have known better.
Yes.
Is that actually a Cars song? Or
it sounds like it could be, but I'm not that familiar with the Cars catalogue.
I'm looking. No, I'm not. I remember they did all those picture discs.
Yeah.
They did all those picture discs, didn't they? Yeah, they didn't. They had one of the first picture discs to go into the. I think that's how they got into the charts.
Okay.
One of their first singles was released on picture disc in. Was it Just What I Needed or Best Friend's Girl? One of them. Released on what was one of the first picture discs to get into the charts, which is why I ever bought it. Oh, look, picture disc.
Okay. Well, he somehow ended up producing Bad Brains' second album, which, given the type of music that he was more heavily involved with the Cars, it's a bit of a surprise. But there you go. So Coptic Times is on Rock for Light, and it is one of those ferocious punk barrages from that album. Technically, it's brilliant. This band can really play, and it's got so much energy. It's a great song, all wrapped up in a tornado. It does ideologically kind of...
Hold on. A great song wrapped up in a tornado. How does that work?
The tornado is just the ferocity, the energy, the whole vibe of it. But the song itself is within that, or that works for me. That
would probably work better as a metaphor or simile or something, wouldn't it? Or it's that the song is like a.
No, I disagree.
I'm just.
Fuck off. Anyway, this song, it does veer off from the normal punk tropes because, first of all, it's a pain to Rastafarianism. And it talks of adherence to the Holy Bible, amongst other things, which wasn't ordinarily the kind of thing you got in punk music of the day, which was very much religion is part of the problem, religion is part of the system, religion is greed, corruption, authoritarianism and deceit. But here we have a punk band ferociously singing about following the Bible. Bit like kind of, what is it, Black House, the American power electronics band that are all about Christianity and God and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I've not heard of
They're
them.
very good.
Obviously, I heard of White House, but not Black House.
They're very good. Well worth listening to. But
Yeah. So how do you get your religious message across? Backed by power electronics. I mean, oh, we love Jesus.
It's just a very distorted voice. Jesus is born again. Jesus is born again. But it's in a very it's through a massive distortion with lots of very distorted rhythmic bits and noise behind it. Yeah, it's interesting.
I don't think I'd be converted by that. To be perfectly honest,
one album called Pro-Life, which is very much obviously anti-abortion. They are of that kind of manner, but it's good listening. As is Bad Brains. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to agree with what they say, and I can take or leave whether somebody wants to follow religion, have faith, or whatever. The thing that ideologically is objectionable with Bad Brains, which was mentioned when we did talk about their counterparts MDC, is how they are, well, certainly Paul Hudson, aka HR, is homophobic and energetically so, and he was very obnoxious to Dave Dictor of MDC when he found out he was gay. So whilst I love Bad Brains music and what they do with faith and religion is up to them, I think Hudson certainly is a fucking moron because he's a homophobic twat. But there you go. Nice intellectual poverty, stupidity. Anyway, great band, formed in Washington in 1976, and they are technically great band. They're named after Bad Brain from the Ramones' Road to Ruin. And they didn't even start out as a punk band. They were a jazz fusion band called Mind Power, which probably explains their deft musicianship. But there you go. The lineup's changed lots of times over the years. And quite often, Hudson and his brother, who's the drummer in Bad Brains, they go off and do something and come back again. They get replaced and then they go off and come back and go off and come back. There's a lot of interpersonal stuff going on in that band. But they are great album, great song. I think I mentioned before, one of the great gigs I've been to from what I can remember. I know I got a contact lens broken in my eye stage diving at the time, but it was a fantastic concert. Broken Bones on support from what I remember, which was one of the disappointing offspring of Discharge. But it was a great night.
Bones band, wasn't it?
Yeah. Hence Broken Bones. But yes, great music nonetheless.
Yes, excellent. Yeah, I don't know. I always find it weird when bands. I don't know, when some bands, when they you chop and change members and everything, people go. It's like the Stranglers. They've only got one. There's only John Zappanel, who's from the original now. And the Lurkers at one point had no original Lurkers in them. They just had
at what point are they not the Lurkers anymore? Or what point are they not the Stranglers? They're just a shadow of. But there's lots of those bands out there that are touring with perhaps no members.
Oh yeah, Well, Tangerine Dream is still going with no original members, aren't they? Yeah. That's Ulrich Schnauz is playing, and some others, and I mean, I think they've got the blessing of whoever the Tangerine Dream members are alive. But it just seems a bit weird, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I get some of it. I mean, it's like the Pistols with Frank Carter. I mean, you've got three Pistols in there, and Frank Carter's fucking ace, and they are brilliant live. And I kind of get that, but then when with the less members around,
it's almost a covers band.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've got bands like the Finnish band Circle, who authorised other groups of people to record as Circle, and they were never part of the band, and they don't even do Circle songs. It's just
Circle franchise.
It is a Circle franchise, which is really weird. You never know what you're going to get when you pick up a Circle record. Yeah. But it's all interesting stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Right, okay. My number 3 is a song called "The Age of Pamparius."
Is that real age?
That sounded like a time-related one to me, by Turbo Negro.
Oh right.
I fucking loved Turbo Negro for a while. I'm not so keen now. They've Hank. So they had. So they were kind of this Swedish punk band, and released some cracking, just full on punk records. And around about I think it was about 99, they got a new lead guitarist called Euroboy, and all of a sudden, kind of turned into their perception of rock gods, basically. So, and the Age of Pamparius was the opening track on their album, their 1998 album, Apocalypse Dudes, and it's fucking hilarious. It's such a brilliant LP. All of their albums are really, really good. I mean, they're like this tongue in cheek. They kind of had this thing where they all pretended to be gay sailors for quite some time, which was really funny. And kind of, but didn't stray into that. Didn't stray into any kind of offensiveness. I think it was taken as what it was. But they released they released an album called Ass Cobra or Arse Cobra, which had some fucking brilliant songs on. One of my favourites being "I Got Erection," and the chorus goes, "Whoa, I got erection," and it's just fucking
That's it.
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So then they, like I say, Euroboy joined, and all of a sudden there were fucking guitar solos all over the place. And the Age of Pamparius is like I say, is the opening track to Apocalypse Dudes, and is just the most overblown rock opera type opening track you could think of. It starts off with a very a very portentous spoken word bit, which kind of goes into a keyboard which rises and rises to a crescendo, and then this massive guitars come in, and the Age of Pamparius, you think, it's going to be an epic song of some lesser known Greek god, and it sounds like that. It's got that epicness of something along those lines. It's actually about Pamparius Pizza in which is a pizza shop in Sweden owned by their guitarist at the time. So this whole overblown rock masterpiece, that particular song is about a pizza shop that the guitarist owns. It's fucking hilarious. It's so funny. And the album itself is it's an absolute masterpiece. It really is. It's just, I just, as I say, totally overblown rock guitar solos. There's a song called "Don't Say Motherfucker, Motherfucker," which is hilarious. Prince of the Rodeo, Rendezvous with Anus, which is another one of my favourites. Yeah, it's great. They used to tour. They had a massive following, and they had the Turbo Jugend, and this was their kind of fan club that had chapters all over the world, and they all used to wear these denim jackets with Turbo Jugend patches on the back and the particular location they came from, and sailor hats. With Turbo Negro, oh man, it was fantastic. There's some great there's a video documentary of them before they kind of got, or I think it's running up to and during the recording of Apocalypse Dudes. Some of it on an American tour they did, where the kind of everything that could go wrong went wrong, and it was. There were lots of drugs, lots of drinking, and they did a few other albums after Apocalypse Dudes. Scandinavian Leather. That was the next one. That was brilliant.
Are they bikers? All this leather and denim and stuff?
No, they're not. They just got a really good sense of humour, and they just think it's funny to dress up as bikers, to dress up as gay sailors, to dress up as whatever takes their fancy. Really, Hank, the singer at the time, used to have this black eye makeup that had run down all down his
Alice
face, and that
Cooper,
was like the yeah. And that was kind of the that was their kind of calling card, really. The picture of his face with those eyes, and you saw that, you went, "Oh, that's Turbo Negro." And like I say, Scandinavian Leather was a great LP. The next, the follow up, which had songs such as "Wipe It Till It Bleeds,"
Yeah.
and and "Fuck the World." And then it kind of, and then they couldn't really keep it up. I don't think Party Animals was really good. Retox, and then Hank left, and they got a new singer, and it just wasn't the same after that. I wasn't ever really convinced. And then unfortunately, Hank died of I think it was a drug overdose, and which was really sad. But great band, and a lot of fun. Really are a lot of fun. Just didn't really give much of a fuck. They were great. They were a great laugh. Yeah. So if you want fancy a bit of bombastic rock with massive guitars and big guitar solos and whatnot, then later Turbo Negro is for you. But if you fancy a bit of a decent bit of Swedish punk, earlier is for you.
Okay.
Their first LP, Hot Cars and Spent Contraceptives. That was a that was a classic. They did do some great titles, some song titles and album titles, all very, very rude and very, very funny. But yeah, but I mean I got Erection. It is a classic. But yeah, Age of Pamparius. It's a great song.
Okay.
So yeah, there you go. Turbo Negro.
Fantastic. Right. Bit of rock opera. Okay. Well, it's about time we had a bit of opera, because my number 3 is opera. And hey, we've scanned across all different genres.
I never thought at any point we'd ever have that a time for some opera.
There we go. Well, we do this time.
Fucking hell.
So this is a song. It began life with a different title. It was called Conte Partirò, which is Italian. It actually means "with you I shall depart." So the first iteration of this song don't really qualify for the time theme. It was composed by Francesco Sartoro and with lyrics by Lucio Quarantotto, and first performed by Andrea Bocelli.
Good old Lucio.
Yes,
good
indeed.
Old Lucio. Always rely on him for some
He's
fucking
a good
decent.
man.
He probably did some of. He probably wrote "Wipe It Till It Bleeds" for Turbo Negro.
It's somewhat
I would guess.
unlikely, but there you go. But after the first recording by Andrea Bocelli in 1995, it then re-emerged with a new title, and the title was "Time to Say Goodbye," and it was re-recorded by Bocelli, this time with Sarah Brightman. It's also been recorded by various other people, Catherine Jenkins, but all of the further iterations have been "Time to Say Goodbye," and it always sounds brilliant. It always sounds absolutely fantastic, with one exception, because you've got this wonderful, majestic, emotive, operatic music. And Donna Summer covered it with an electro dance version. And that shows you that even the best, most wonderful song can be destroyed quite easily.
And that's the version you've picked.
No. Ignoring that one. It's a song about parting, facing the future alone, love lost. It's glorious, and really captures the feelings, the pathos. It's strange because it's a very sad song, but it feels uplifting at the same time, because these lush strings just sweep up like vast billowing sheets of satin or something. It's just huge and powerful.
Is it sung in Italian?
It was when Bocelli sang it, and it's part Italian, part German, I think, when he and Sarah Brightman did it. Then Catherine Jenkins has done it all in English. So it's sung in different languages.
So most of the time you wouldn't know it was a sad song because you wouldn't understand it.
If you listen to the original, no, you wouldn't. No. Bocelli's renditions are arguably the best. He's got a great voice, although critics critics are not unanimous in his voice. There's this elitism, I think. So it's the same in everything, in punk, in metal, in jazz. I don't know. There are always those that say that can't be a proper punk record because I don't say it's a proper punk record or whatever.
Because you're middle class,
something like that.
Yeah. And they can't be a proper opera record because they're working class. Yeah.
And Bocelli was blind. He was blind from the age of 12 because he was born with really compromised sight. I can't remember what it was, some congenital glaucoma or something. But then a football hit him on the head when he was 12 and sent him completely blind, and he never recovered his eyesight.
That's probably what happened to me. That's probably what I'm
football hit you on the head.
Fucking football hit me on the head.
A medicine ball hit you on the head, I think. But anyway, he sold over 90 million records, and he plays flute, saxophone, guitar, trumpet, drums, trombone, piano, and he's a qualified lawyer on top of all of that.
All at the same time?
All at the same time. He's a talent par excellence. Conte Partero, the original, is the best-selling single of all time in Belgium. It's one of the top-selling ever in France. It was at number.
What, even it sold even more than Plastic Bertrand?
Yes, I'm afraid it did.
Fucking hell.
I'm afraid it did. It was at number 1 in the German charts for over 3 months and went gold 11 times.
Obviously, that was a joke for our one Belgian listener. If we got,
they won't let you back again.
Everyone's going, who the fucking hell's Plastic Bertrand? He comes from fucking Belgium. Jesus Christ.
Interestingly enough, he's currently one of the co-singers for the World Cup theme, DNA, More Than a Game. I don't know if you've been watching any of that, but the song that it starts off with is the World Cup theme, and it is Andrea Bocelli, and it is David Guetta, and it is Morgan the Stallion, and South Korean songstress Ejay, I think it's pronounced, but they all sing it together.
Oh.
And it's okay as these songs go.
I don't really pay much attention to it, to be honest. The singing for other than you're going to get your fucking head kicked in and that kind of thing.
But I wouldn't have done. But the opening match at Mexico, Andrea Bocelli was actually there live, and he is awesome, and he's fantastic chap to all intents and purposes as well. And to achieve all of what he's achieved with the setback he had from an early age, and to be so, I think, so humble and so talented all in one go. This song is a testament to that. It's a fantastic song, but he's brilliant anyway.
Excellent. Very good. Yeah, I never thought we'd have opera. But
I've been exercising restraint for fear of offence.
Obviously, yeah. Oh no, I'm not offended. I don't mind a bit of opera. Well, I've never really fucking listened to any opera, to be honest. I don't. It just doesn't float my boat. I don't know what it is. Although, funnily enough, I'll get to it when I get to it.
Okay, fair enough.
Funny enough, yeah, you might be surprised by my last pick.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, right. So my next one is a song called "Last Day on Earth" by Biba Doobie.
You've mentioned them before. Her.
I think probably in the context of the girls. The girls introduced me to Biba Doobie, and I really like her. I'm not a hardcore fan, but she has written some fucking banging pop songs that I just absolutely adore. A lot of her stuff is, I suppose it is just kind of indie pop, little kind of grunge like indie pop.
Okay.
I suppose is the best way to describe her. Her actual name is Beatrice Laus, and she's Laus, Laus. Laus. I'm guessing. I'm not very good at pronouncing names. And she is Filipino British singer-songwriter, and she was born this century as well, 2000.
Wow.
It's like bloody hell. It released a couple of kind of mini albums. That was kind of where the girls heard her and kind of said, "Oh, Dad, she's really good, Dad." And I kind of started listening then. And is now just about to release her 4th LP. But this particular song comes from a EP she released in 2021, and it's the lead track. And it is probably my favourite summery pop record of the last decade, I should think. It is just a perfect, you know, poppy summer anthem, really. It's got a lovely little guitar motif in it that goes over and over. It's got a great chorus that just basically goes, and it goes ba 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 da ba da ba 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 da ba da, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And you just can't help but love it. It is just she's just got a real knack for every now and again pulling out an absolute banger of a single. She did an EP previous to that called Space Cadet, and that had a song on it called She Plays Bass, which was written about her bass player, who obviously is a girl.
Okay.
It's just perfect. I mean, we love pop music, kind of, but pop music for me is Buzzcock singles.
Yeah.
That's pop music. That is proper fucking pop music, that is. Yeah. And this is has got that vibe to it.
Okay.
Not explicitly, but if you listen to it, you'll get what I mean. There's just something about the way she writes her songs. And they're not all, I mean, most of the albums are kind of, they're great songs. It's a great collection of songs and everything. But like I say, every now and again, she pulls out an absolute fucking banger. And She Plays Bass and Last Day on Earth are just glorious. I could just listen to them over and over again. I've seen her live a couple of times, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't play this live, which is really annoying. She plays bass, which is always a
crowd pleaser,
a great thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is a really, really good song. That's great chorus, great everything about it, perfect for pop. But yeah, this one in particular, once it's in your head, you won't forget it. Great song. Because of our archaic recording methods, we just did have a sneaky break then, and which no one knows because Jake's so fantastic at editing.
You keep giving the secrets away.
Is the weird thing, right? So I think that song, as I've just said, is a fucking banger. I think it's superb, and one of the best songs she's ever done. It came on an EP called Our Extended Play, and I was just looking at it. I was just having a bit of a bop doing that break to it. And the second song, so Last Day on Earth is track 1, has had 25 million plays on Spotify.
Whoa.
The second track, Cologne, which I don't think is as good, 116 million plays.
Blimey.
Yeah. And Last Day on Earth hasn't been played live since 2023. Although there's been saying she didn't play it live very often, she actually played it at the gig I went to see her at the Junction. I'd completely forgotten. That was when the girls were still quite young, and I took them along to it and gave them all a lift and bought myself a ticket and went to see her anyway. But I had to stand over the other side of the Junction, so there was nowhere near the girls, so they could all be cool. And so fucking hell. Brilliant song, brilliant summery pop song. And make sure you have a listen to it.
Okay, yeah? I shall do that. There you go. My number 4 then is called Time. Number 4.
No, you said my number 4. So obviously you've got dementia. So you either meant my 4th song or my number 4. But no, you've gone full fucking. Yeah, you've gone full. And you're,
I was got my mind on something else. But I'll refocus.
Okay. Deep breaths.
My number 4.
Your number
4. It's called Time and then Time Again, but in parenthesis. So it's Time. And it's by a band called Lightning Orchestra.
Okay.
And this is going to be quite brief because Lightning Orchestra have had a very limited career, really.
I would imagine your brief is much better than my just confused rambling. So yeah, anyone listening now
It's a
is going to go.
balance.
You go. This is going to be quite brief, and they're all going, "Oh, thank fuck for that!" After that meandering old wanker talking about fucking Beaver Doobie.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Absent of any feedback much to speak of,
Yeah,
we just plough
I
our
know.
own little furrow, don't
yeah.
we? They've only put out 2 albums in their career. The first being Source and Deliver, released in 2020.
Sauce
and their second,
and deliver.
No,
Oh, your
no.
money, your chips.
nothing to do
No,
with that
okay.
awfulness. No, the second album, 2021's Freedom of Creation, I don't know if that really counts because that's just all remixes from Source and Deliver with one additional song by a band called Chandeliers, whoever they are.
Oh.
So really only one LP release. And there's nothing much about them swirling around on the wibbly wobbly web, but this is a great track and it is on that album Source and Deliver, so it's worth mentioning just to get it on the playlist, give it some airplay, see if anybody else likes it. And what it is a big 11.5-minute tab of acid jazz.
Ooh, acid jazz.
Acid jazz, and it sounds huge because there are 12 musicians pairing the song. It's very, very full, very, very full of energy, and it does fair stomp along. The vocals by this guy Murphy, I can't remember what his bloody Christian name is. It's Murphy. Anyway, he's shouting more than singing it. And there's lots of twisting guitar solos and then some sax solos. After about 5 minutes of just stomping along, it all drops down to something somewhat more restrained. The beat slows, the arrangement becomes more sparse. There were horn stabs in the space, licks of flanged guitar whirling through. And it takes on a more altogether dubby feel. Is it because I said flange?
You said licks of flange.
I did it on purpose. I knew that set you off.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, my tummy hurts.
I know how much you like the word flange, so I thought I'd just expand it a little bit.
Fucking hell. It was just so unexpected. I think nothing worse than unexpected flange. Fucking hell.
This is just for you. It's licks of flanged guitar, which I thought I'd set you off. Job done. Calm yourself down, you child.
I think I might need a beta blocker. Oh, fucking hell. So this is what happens when you've been reading Viz since you bloody late
Finbar
teens.
Saunders.
Oh, dear.
Yes, you are Finbar Saunders.
Oh, flipping heck.
Settled yourself down.
Yeah, I've got to clean my glasses down because my glasses are gone. Oh, dear.
So, yes, there were licks of flange guitar.
Enough.
And then after about 3 or 4 minutes of that restrained version, it suddenly roars back into life, charging all the way through to the end. And it's really good. Can't say an awful lot more. Travis Murphy, that's the guy's name. It's just come to me. So yeah, Travis Murphy is the guy that sings. And I think the whole band is his creation, really. The band were formed in Atlanta, Georgia, and they claim on one of the very few bits of info that I could find, they claim that they are a syndicate of interstellar sorcerers and deranged mutants.
Of course they do.
Which I'm not really sure that's true. But they have disappeared. There's no trace of them after 2022. So they released the album 2020, the remixes in 2021. There was something posted on their site on 2022.
They all got beamed back up to the mothership, though, yeah. Yes.
They must have done, yeah. But this track actually gets 2 stabs on the album. So they're one album. It gets the first 11 plus minutes section. And then there's a reprise at the end, which is a 1.5 minute, or 1 3/4 minute version, which is slowed down and smeared and very grainy, which is quite interesting. But there you go. That's it. That's the band. That's the record. There's nothing much else that I can concoct to tell you.
And no particular reason for the time. In the,
It's the way it sings. It's a call and response. He shouts out time, and then there's a time, 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 time.
Excellent.
Yes.
Shall we try it? Do you want to? Time. Brilliant. Yeah, I think we fucking nailed that.
I think you fucked that up.
Well, I'm sure it's a pretty good shot considering I've not heard the fucking song. So
You
all I had to go.
You just got an echoing delay thing.
Go on and do it again then.
Time. Fucking hell. Move on.
Oh dear. Right, okay. So my last song is, you're gonna fucking love this one. This is right up your street.
On.
This is bonkers. I just happened to be a few years ago. I love faffing around on the Boomcat website. It's a kind of a online record store based in Manchester, and they sell just weird bollocks, really dancey. Anything dancey, modern ambient, jazz. Anything kind of a bit left field. And you can get it on there. So I saw this CD on there a few years ago by a guy called Akira Rabelais. And Akira is apparently, from what I can... Now, this is interesting because I've been researching this all day because I bought the CD ages ago. Every now and again, I'll play one of the CDs. Had no idea what it was all about until today. And I've been looking through it all today, and I've still got no fucking idea, to be honest. But Akira Rabelais apparently is based in Texas, from what I can gather. There's lots of mentions of this album, but not that much.
Mentions where
on the internet.
Okay.
You can find out bits about it, but it's just all a bit like there's nothing concrete. So it's called. This particular song is called, or this particular piece of music called Swan's Way, many years ago in the silence of evening. And it's, it's a 4 CD set that runs 241 minutes. Right. And this was made, so the album itself is based around the remembrance of things past novels by Marcel Proust. So Akira Rabelais was kind of got a bit obsessed with these books and read them and just listened to audiobooks of them as well. And I was always put off by them by the old Monty Python sketch about Proust. Do you remember that? When
I don't.
It was a song they were singing a song about Marcel Proust, and it was like it went some of the lines of Proust in his first book wrote about, and it just goes on and gets fed up and fucking gives up in the end. And apparently it's a really long series of books. And it was written in the 20s. So Akira Rabelais had this idea to try and create almost a playlist of music that Proust would have listened to in Paris in the 20s while writing these books.
Yeah, right.
So he basically collected lots of 78s from that time, and around 2019 he recorded some of the compositions, and he's got his own software that he's designed called Argafonte's Lyre, and chopped, manipulated and screwed all these pieces of music by these composers who he thinks he would have listened to, like Brahms, Chopin, Debussy. Now this is where it gets a bit confusing, because when I listened to it, I kind of listened to it along the lines of The Caretaker, the Haunted Ballroom stuff, where he got all the old 78s and recorded them, and then kind of manipulated them so that they sounded really, really old and scratchy. And have you? Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you listened to those?
I haven't. No.
Yeah. So it was a lot of it was all about kind of memory, and it was to do with like oh, God, I forgot. That's ridiculous. Like dementia and Alzheimer's, which ironically I just forgot the bloody I just forgot the fucking name of. And so he kind of designed that so it was a bit like listening through a fog. And it was supposed to give give you an idea of what it was like to listen or to have Alzheimer's, and just have that kind of these memories coming in and going out. And but when I was looking at this, it's more like he actually got I can't tell whether he recorded the old 78s or he actually got at times he said he got like a little chamber orchestra in to recreate them and then chopped up those recordings. But whichever, it's really, really bonkers. It's just, I mean, and it's got, I mean, there's opera in there, and just all this orchestral music, classical sounding music, but just made a bit wonky, and just skewed and slowed, and to give it that kind of.
Well, it does sound interesting.
It's very interesting. I've listened to it the first time when I bought it. This 4 CDs came along, and I played them one after the other. It was a fucking experience. I kind of bought it on a whim. I just read it. I listened to some of the Caretaker stuff, and I kind of bought it on a whim, and then started listening to it, and I was like, "Fuck me, this is insane." Yeah. But I've never played the whole lot again. But I often pick out a CD and just play it, because it's and again it's one of those things where you like. I don't really know if I actually like it, but I appreciate it because it's more of a feeling thing. It's more of a listen to. I mean, I suppose it will be best on headphones, but I usually just bang it on there and turn it up a little bit.
Yeah,
and it is it's just a quite a weird experience. And like I say, the caretaker music with that was kind of supposed to emulate Alzheimer's, and that is fucking weird. That is, I mean, that's just kind of like just listening to, well, I mean, it basically you're listening to like these old treated 78s, and it's kind of along the lines of the disintegration tapes as well. It's that kind of thing. Fascinating listening. I've got the, in fact,
I shall certainly look out for that.
I got the Caretaker. They re-released all. I think it's four. Is it 4 CDs or 3 CDs? They released them not long ago, so I bought that as well. Just
Okay.
yeah, and it's not an easy listen, but you kind of have to be aware of what they're trying to do. Both this and the Caretaker. And I didn't actually know about the like Proust's playlist, which I think which kind of adds a bit more to it now. It's very strange, but yeah, absolutely well worth a listen. And you'll love this this particular track. It's in four. It's like lots of long tracks. I think this track's about 21 minutes long. So
excellent.
Yay!
Sounds good. Excellent.
So there you go.
I shall definitely. That sounds intriguing. Definitely.
Yes, it's very good. I think you'd like it, and the Caretaker, like I say, the Caretaker stuff as well, just fucking superb.
I think I've got some Caretaker stuff. I'll have a look when we finish, but I'm sure I've got some Caretaker stuff. I'm kind of thinking that I've seen Caretaker live, maybe at a Supersonic or something like that. I don't know.
He's what's his name? These he records under, I can't remember his bloody name now. He does record under other names, including his own. I think these are all on. Everything from there is on Spotify. Everywhere at the End of Time,
nice.
and An Empty Bliss Beyond This World. Yeah. they're all interesting. Far cry from Bieber Doobie though. I'll tell you that.
Andrea Bocelli, Bad Brains. We've been all over the place this one, haven't we?
Yeah, we have been all over the place today. Yeah.
So my fifth one then, to round things up, it wouldn't be a proper podcast without some krautrock, psychedelic, space noise rock.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. And this is a track called Time Machine from the awesome Liverpudlian band Mugstar.
Oh, right, yeah, I've heard of them.
I think are brilliant. Formed in 2002. Very, very good. Very, very prolific. Done over 30 albums.
Nothing with flanges, hopefully.
Nothing with flange. Well,
good.
no, they don't use flanging on their guitars so much. No, chorus and a bit of distortion, I think, probably. But they've recorded quite a lot of split records where they share vinyl space with other bands. And they've done that with Mudhoney, with White Hills, with Cosmic Dead, Carlton Melton, and even Damo Suzuki, of all people. They've toured with Mogwai, with Acid Mother's Temple, with Melt Banana, with Faust, and even somehow with Gary Newman. And an interview I read with them, they were quite puzzled about how they got landed with Gary Newman, but they did not make a big impression on the Gary Newman audience. People had gone along to see Electro Man, Android Newman, and had got
down in the park where the Mac ran me, pushing to play kill my numbers.
I don't know why that accent. I don't know why you think that sounds like Gary Newman.
That's just how it comes out. That's just how it sounds in my head.
It's just sad. I'd hate to think.
He had that nasally.
You said that last time you sang some of his stuff, but I'm not really sure. You take on a kind of wavering, kind of falsetto as well. It's very odd. It's got a otherworldly voice.
Yeah, I think just my nasal impressions just make me go wavery.
Yeah,
obviously.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sounds like how I'd imagine Gary Newman if he died and was summoned at a seance of some description.
Yeah. Or if he'd kind of fallen off a pier and was singing his whole gig underwater.
Maybe so.
Down in the park where the blah, 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 blah.
But they did tour with him. They didn't go down very well. The probably most interesting fact is that Mugstar in 2004 were the last ever band to do a John Peel session before John Peel died.
Oh, that might be why I remember the name, actually. Yeah.
Maybe. I think I mentioned them on one of our listening to lists. I might have done. I haven't had a look. But very, very potent stuff. Psychedelic, rock, wig outs, and better vocals that are half buried, often just noises, really. This track actually is a relatively very brief 5.5 minutes, because I think most of the tracks are the 10, 11, 15 minute mark. But it's great stuff. They do it very, very well indeed. So it starts quite delicately, quite gently, few bars of pick guitar, then the rest of the instrument starts to come in, it gradually builds and it accelerates. The drummer switches from hi-hat to ride cymbal, the guitars start stalking through the whole thing. Sounds like there's more than one guitar, but there's only one guitarist, so whether they've overdubbed it or not, I don't know. But then it all shifts up a gear into full motoric fashion, and the guitar starts shredding solos and the cymbals are smashing everywhere, and it's fantastic. It's from their 2016 album Magnetic Seasons, which is on the Rock Action label, which is run by Mogwai. So it's Mogwai's label. And they were very honoured to be asked to be on there. The whole thing was recorded in 7 days in Liverpool, all pretty much written in the studio. And you get the feeling that these are people who have been playing together a long time. They know their stuff and they can quite happily just jam, and great things happen. But it is fantastic. It is another brief one, though, because whilst they have done 30 albums, I can't say an awful lot about any of them that's going to be different from the last. And there isn't an awful lot of information out there on the web about them, despite their quite lengthy durability and career. There's a few interviews that I managed to pick up, but to be honest, they don't say an awful lot that's terribly revealing about what they do and how they do it. So it is a great band, and they do very, very much deserve to get mentioned and listened to by a wider audience. And that's why I'm putting them onto the podcast, despite the fact that I haven't got an awful lot to say about them.
Fabulous. Yeah. Well, I mean, there are some. I think sometimes we feel obliged to rattle on about bands, but sometimes it is what it is, isn't it? Really, it's a great track. Fuck knows who they are, but here you go. I mean, that's about the strength of some of it, isn't it?
And to be honest, I mean, some people, even great music lovers, like people who listen to all kinds of music for many years and have favourite bands that they don't really know an awful lot about, because sometimes who's in the band and what their motivation is kind of, well, not really interested as long as the music's great.
I think some of it. I mean, I'm kind of thinking back on what I was just talking about, Beaver Doobie, and I look back on what I've just said and think, fuck me, I could, I haven't said half about her that I could have. So there's no reason why in another few weeks I couldn't pick another one of her songs and talk about something different, which is what I've said previously on some of the other bands we've done. I mean, some of the bands that we've loved for years and years and years, we could just fucking talk about for, I nearly put another Cure song on tonight. I needed 10, 15 on a Saturday night. Because I thought, you could have a good 5 minutes just talking about Cure B-sides, and not touch on any other aspect of the band, because their B-sides were so good. I'll save that. We did B-sides once. Did we do B-sides?
We've done a B-sides, yes. I can probably tell you when that was.
Get your personal fucking spreadsheet up with all your stuff on.
Me. That was 14th of January, episode 24.
Oh, bloody hell. And what else do we talk about? Do you take notes? Do you put like
No.
Dave was really funny that day or anything like that on there?
I'd never put that.
No.
I usually put Dave was really, really tiring this time.
Yeah, that's probably a bit more fucking accurate, isn't it? Yeah. Oh my God, he got on my tits tonight. Fuck me. Will he ever shut up? If he does that fucking bless you joke once more, I'll fucking stab him.
You did have a stab at it, didn't you?
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was talking about. When I did hear you crack it out in the background. I chose to
you had me crack one out in the
background. Were you licking your flange guitar?
Oh dear. Anyway,
dear.
God, how old are we? How old are we? We're like a couple of fucking school kids sometimes.
Tittering away.
God. It's just embarrassing. I'm glad my kids don't listen to this. They'll be going, fucking hell, Dad.
My son listens to it.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he probably expects it. He's older, isn't he? So he's probably beyond being embarrassed by his dad now.
I think he's got used to it now.
Anyway, well, Jake, what have you been listening to this week?
What I've been listening to this week, Live Drugs Again by The War on Drugs, which was released, I think, earlier this year. It was very, very good. War on Drugs being very summery music. Also been playing Firebird Suite 1919 by Igor Stravinsky. And the version that I've been listening to is by the United Soloist Orchestra, conducted by Arseny Shkaptsov, which is very good. Some banging pseudo-industrial techno from Regis with the album Death Head Said from 2023, which is bloody brilliant. A new cassette out on Cruel Nature, which is very good, called The Effete Descendants of Robber Barons Are Poison to Civilization. And it's by Tib Shelf. It's very, very interesting, cut up old records, electronica stuff. And then finally, Rocket Recordings have re-released again Goat's first wonderful album, World Music. So that's come out on pink vinyl. So I've got that and been listening to that again.
Super job. Wonderful. I've read very little of that is on Spotify. So, yeah. But send me, remind me what that tape was called, because that sounded quite interesting. So I'll have a listen.
You'd like that, I think. So what have you been listening to then?
So this week I've been listening to Why by Discharge because I went on a work, I had a work meeting in Belgium and met a couple of guys from the German office who are complete death metal heads. Swedish death metal, ironically called Björn and Benny. And they were told me a band. I listened to them, and then I started listening to Anti-C-Mix because I remembered them from years ago. And then I thought, oh, fucking hell, if you're going to listen to D-Beat, got to listen to Discharge. So I was listening to Discharge.
The D-Beat gods.
Yes, indeed. I was then listening to Eternum Existens by Function. Weirdly, that after you would listen to Regis, because Function were part of Samwell District, weren't they?
Yeah, right, yeah.
I've been listening to lots to the recreated Placebo first LP, which is really good. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I always thought the first LP sounded great, but it's definitely given it a bit of bollocks. It's opened it up quite considerably. It does sound really good, and there's some great remixes, new remixes on Spotify.
Okay.
Then I was listening to Worst Girl in America by Slater, who is an American girl. I don't know much about her, but the girls were playing it in the car the other day, and it's very noisy, very kind of almost. Well, the track they played was almost Gabba-like, but I really liked it. I thought it was great, so I listened to the whole LP, and it's really good. And then I've been listening to a cassette called Mass Studio Dubs, which is a recording of the Jar Massagan Sound EJ Mass sound systems, and a load of really cool dubs, and it's absolutely brilliant. Really, really like that.
What label's that on then? Because not many of them.
That was on Death Is Not the End.
Okay.
Who released some really interesting tapes. They're the ones who did the pirate radio advert compilations. They've done some really, really interesting tapes, some really good, and that sounds dreadful, but it's actually really, really good fun. Really good fun. And they did a couple of they've done a couple of kind of reggae related ones previously as well. They've released some really interesting tapes. So there you go. Yes,
2026, and we're listening to cassette tapes still.
Yes, I know. Quite fabulous, isn't it? Quite fabulous. So that's it. Obviously, we have to say hello to the greatest playlist ever. DJ Substance, Brooklyn Pete, Robin the Supergirl Wonder, who do a podcast that's nearly as good as ours, but they don't quite have our panache. They haven't got that English panache. They're Americans, so
English panache. Wow.
I do my best. I do my best to try and offend them in a comedic way. But I don't think they're always really nice about us.
Do they ever say anything that acknowledges your efforts to be sarcastic?
No, they just say how much they enjoy listening to us, and they're picked up. In fact, they were talking about Sleaford Mods in the last. Yeah, I was really intrigued to find out, how Sleaford Mods, how they
translates.
How it translates, because it's so particularly English, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then kind of I thought, well, when you're looking at that, I mean, you look at rap, and how would American rap try, and we always got that. Okay, I mean, and that can be quite kind of country specific, really, can't it? So
I suppose the thing with Sleaford Mods is very much about the sound, because Jason Williams talks just nonsense all the way through all of it anyway. It means nothing to any of us either.
Absolutely, but I always liked. What was it in the UK? No one can hear you scream or whatever. That just made me fucking laugh. That did. I thought it was great. Yeah. But head over to the greatest playlist ever. They had the new episode came out this morning. It was really good. And one of the tracks was weirdly enough, after we'd spoke on the last, it was Banquet by Block Party from their first LP. But I was torn because they also had a Snail Mail track on there, and I love Snail Mail. But I think did I go for? I can't remember what I voted for now. I think I might have changed my mind at the last minute. I thought I might have changed my mind at the last minute and actually gone for Snail Mail. So listen to that, and all's left to say is thanks for listening. Leave us comments and stuff like that. I haven't asked if anyone to do that for ages. Let us know if you're still out there. And we will see you in a couple of weeks, no doubt.
Indeed. Goodbye,
See you
everybody.
then. Bye.